ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ.
Hare Krishna. Let's start the session. Can I request all of you to go on mute? Yeah, perfect. Now, welcome to the Gita Wisdom session. On a Sunday evening, we are going to start the chapter 16, Divine and Demoniac Natures. It's also called Daivāsura sampad-vibhāga yoga. The English acronym is DOG. You will be worried, oh, why? Why is this chapter called DOG? We will see this going forward. Before we start, it is our parampara. We must offer obeisances to our Guru and Guru Maharaj and seek all your blessings. So let me start by offering my obeisances to my Guru, His Grace Gaur Vilas Prabhuji, then my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and my obeisances and my greetings to all of you, because it is said Gita is an interactive session. This is an interactive session. And when we talk about Gita, talking and listening, both are equally important. So I seek your blessing that I am able to do justice to this chapter starting now. And we must start by offering prayers to Krishna. That's how we should begin the session. So I will say the prayers and you can repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Thank you. So, what is the uniqueness of this chapter? Why is it called Daivāsura Vibhāga Yoga? What is sampad? Sampad is, it comes from the word sampatti, wealth. So the asuras consider the demonic qualities to be their wealth. And what is that demonic qualities? Arrogance, harshness, lust, ignorance. So what is our wealth? We will hold close to us. I'm sure you'll all agree. And that will become part of us. So Krishna gives us a detailed description of what these qualities are, what are the Daiva qualities, Devata qualities, and what is that we should make choice in life if we have to go back to Godhead. That is the essence of this chapter. Before we start 16th chapter, quick wrap up overview of what we did in the 15th chapter. This is called the Yoga of the Supreme Person. And the acronym is HOME. What did we learn? We learned in the first 5 verses, Krishna gives, he says, please look at your homes, which you are all fond of, attached to, very, great memories, because your parents, your relations, siblings stay there. And at the first instance, where would you like to run back? It is home. He says, I understand and I agree that home is the most loved place by all. Then he says, another comparison of residence is hotel. Whenever you're on tour, travel, you do patronize some hotels, and that is also a place of residence. But please be aware that both these are not your permanent homes. They are temporary. And he describes to us in the next 5 verses from verse 6 to 11, he says, this material world is characterized by repeated cycle of life and death. So please come back to the spiritual world. And he gives us a graphic description of the spiritual world. It is perfect, it is complete, and fully satisfying to all. He says, you must make up your minds that I don't want to be a resident of a temporary home. I want to go back to my permanent home. Then he tells us in the verses 12 to 15 that I am the maintainer of body, mind, and soul. Even to live in this material world, it is possible only by the protection and shelter of Krishna. Whatever we do, it is blessed by him. Only because of him, we are able to carry out our activities. And those activities could be demoniac or Daiva. Everything is supported by Krishna. Then he ends the chapter by giving us the essence of entire Gita in 3 verses. And it is called the Shloka Gita. He describes to us Chara, Akshara. There are three types of beings, and then Purushottama. Now let me ask a question. Can anybody tell me who is called Purushottama?
Krishna.
Perfect. Thank you, Nanesha. So I had told you in the last class, I will ask you this question. So we must, Krishna very clearly says that I am not Shara, I am not Akshara, I am Purushottama. So he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is the super Lord. He is the creator, maintainer, and destroyer. Hence, this chapter is also called as Purushottama Yoga. So with this recap, let's we'll start the chapter today. The divine and demoniac natures. Why is the acronym DOG? And what does it stand for? Here, before getting into this, I will also give you another uniqueness of this chapter. So 14, 15, Krishna starts even without waiting for Arjuna to ask the question. So 16th, also he follows the same trend. What does this indicate? It indicates that this is an important piece of knowledge that he wants Arjuna and all of us to understand. So he starts the chapter with first lesson, divine or demoniac. That is the D of dog. So what does he do? He describes in the first three verses 26 qualities. Imagine how difficult it is to be a good man. He says 26 qualities. And then he defines 6 demoniac qualities. And these demoniac qualities, most of us look at them and we can say that, oh, half of it or more than half of it are very, very well known to us. So we are aware of it. Maybe we're not consciously aware of it. After going through this, we can understand and relate. Then Krishna gives us the message. What is the result of having these qualities, either Daiva or Asura? That is the lesson number 2. Opinion, outlook of demons. Third is G, getting free from demonic qualities. We will reserve that for the next class because it's very difficult to cover 24 verses in one class. In the opinion and outlook of demons, he very clearly tells us what is your destination if you are having Daiva qualities, what is your destination if you're having demonic qualities. We will cover just 5 of them today and cover the balance in the next class. Now, before we actually get into the verses, there is a nice story. Now, demons are always competing with Devatas. So they went to Brahma and said, you are the creator of this universe. Can you please tell me who is more intelligent? We want to compare ourselves with Daivas. We feel we are important or we are intelligent. So Brahma says, okay, do one thing. I can't give you an answer right away. I must think. Come back to me after 1 week. So the demons go away happily. After 1 week, there is a huge function in Brahmaloka. All are invited. And after the puja, the homa, yajna is all over, it is time for feast, having prasad. So they observe that as you enter the prasadam hall, there are people who are standing at the entrance and they are tying up the hands of each person who gets in with a piece of bamboo on both right hand and left hand. And only if you get that tied, you can get into the prasadam hall. People are surprised, people are worried. They say, what is this strange behavior? Now, with this bamboo stick, I can't even use my hands to eat food. And that was done with a purpose by Brahma. So now the demons sit on one side, the Devatas sit on one side, and both are trying to figure out how do I eat food. It's very difficult because there is no freedom at all. I can't move my hands the way I want because there is a big stick attached to my hand. So then the demons say that, okay, the first thing that we should do is that I will ensure that if I am not able to eat the food, I don't want others to eat food too. So they start scattering all the food items on the plate. That is, they are selfish, they are devilish by nature. They say that if I can't eat, nobody can eat. And then at the same time, the same prasadam hall, there is another behavior which is seen. The Devatas, the Daivas, they say, okay, well, I can't eat because my hands do not allow me. What I can do is that I can pick up, let's say, one piece of food and offer it to my colleague who is sitting next to me. So they started the collaborative approach. And after a few minutes, it was very clear that the demon side was a chaos and the Daivas, they were able to manage even under the given constraint. Then Brahma said, "Oh, dear demons, now do you understand who is intelligent? If you are planning to work with the mode of goodness, that what Daivas followed, you would have been still able to honor this prasad. But since you come with a strong devilish mentality, you're not able to enjoy food even though it is in front of you. So now you guess who is intelligent." So this is a nice story to give you the understanding of what is the difference between a demon and a daiva. Before we go into this chapter again, let's look at how 13, 14, 15, 16 have evolved. Quick recap. So we studied in 13th chapter, 13.22, where it says, desire is the seed. What is the desire? The desire to enjoy. And what does this desire do? It gives us 8.4 million different kinds of bodies. You want to be a polar bear, you can enjoy in the polar bear's body. You can sleep for 6 months. You want to be a human, then you have a choice. Either you be a person in the mode of goodness, sattva, or you be a mode in the mode of tamas. Choice is yours. 14th chapter. He says, if you are blessed with the body of a human, what do? What should you be aware of? He tells us there are 3 modes. Can anybody tell me what are the 3 modes?
Sattvic, Rajas, and Tamas.
Sattva, Rajas, Tamas.
Perfect. Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you, Chaitanya. So these 3 modes, what do? They nourish the seed, they nourish the body that we have got in this world, and we start enjoying the world. Now the choice is ours to what extent we should enjoy. In the 15th chapter, he says, what is the fallacy of this notion of enjoyment? He compares this material world to a upside down banyan tree. And we studied the nice story where a princess loses her necklace by the side of the lake. A person, a stranger who's sitting there, wants to get that necklace at any cost. He's able to locate the necklace. He goes to the deep end of the lake and he finds the jewel, the necklace shining. He makes numerous attempts to collect that necklace. He's not successful. Then he goes to a sage sitting nearby and says, "Oh, please help me. I can see the necklace, but I can't take it." Then the sage says, "You foolish fellow, please understand, you are not seeing the real necklace. The real necklace is actually on top of the tree. What you're seeing in the water is just its reflection." Similarly, Krishna says, this material world is nothing but a reflection of the spiritual world. And the only way you can cut off this attachment to this material world is to first be aware of what is the spiritual world, where you belong, and then come back to me. And he also tells us how you can do it by detachment. Now we come to the 16th chapter. Krishna here is describing 2 kinds of people. He says, Daiva, Asura, good people, bad people. And there are 14 lokas in this planetary system, in this universe. So what is the essence of learning is, you start from Patal Loka, you are in Bhuloka, that is the material world. And if you develop these 26 divine qualities, you are qualified to move from one loka to the other up to Satya Loka. Krishna says, if you are able to overstep, if you are able to transcend the mode, you can even come out of Brahmaloka to Goloka. That is the journey. Try to move from Asura to Daiva, transcend the modes, and come back to me in Goloka. This is how 13, 14, 15, 16 chapters are connected. So now we start first chapter. With the first lesson, Krishna is talking to us about divine or demoniac. Now, as we get into this study, we must be aware of what this Vedic scriptures tell us. The Vedic scriptures tell us this in 7 steps, which is Acharya very nicely explained. It is easy to remember also. A, B, C, D, E, F. What is that? A, the people who are having divine qualities understand absolute truth. They understand Krishna and surrender to him. B, you patronize Brahmanas. They are the teachers of Gita. They are the teachers of Krishna consciousness. They are the teachers of all scriptures. Respect them. Patronize them. C, cows stands for protection of cows. D, belief and respect for all devatas. There are 33 crore devatas. We have equal respect for all of them. E, etiquette. Always try to be friendly, gentle, compassionate. F, first sign of danger, flee to the feet of Krishna. So Krishna can save you from all the miseries of this world, and they have that knowledge. G, try to live your life in the mode of goodness. So this is how the Vedic scriptures tell us what is the Vedic culture. How do we remember? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So with this, we launch ourselves into the first verse. Even before that, okay, 13th chapter gave us 20 virtues and values. So Krishna has been consistently talking to us about the importance of divine qualities. In 13th chapter, he described 20 virtues and values and said, Itat gnanam iti proktam, ajnanam yad ato anyatha. He says, besides these 20 virtues and values, rest is all considered to be ignorance. So he is consistently reinforcing what are these divine qualities and what we should do to develop them. First verse of the day. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Danam Damascha Yagnascha Svadhyaya Stapa Arjavam. So he's giving us 11 qualities here. He says, Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purifications of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness. So there are 11 qualities, and we must try and understand each of them in detail. Is Mukesh there with us? Let me see. No, Mukesh is not. Now, this was his request that I want you to show me the words in Sanskrit as well. So I said, let me do that. So this is the original Sanskrit shloka, English translation, and the purport. Now let's go to what each of these qualities stand for. Abhayam. And I also listed, there are 4 ashramas. We know Brahmana, Shudra, Vaishya, and Kshatriya. So this is more important for sannyasa. Why is that? Because Abhaya means fearlessness. Generally, we are all used to living in places of civilization. You know, we are having our house, we live in cities. A sannyasi, a person who has renounced the world, is always ready to go out and to live in a cave, in a mountain, or at the forest side, by the riverside. He has his ashrama in seclusion, and he leads his life praying to the Lord. So he must have, so in all the ashramas, sannyasi should have fearlessness. That is the first trait they should cultivate. If you do not have fearlessness, you can never hope to be a sannyasi. Tattva samshuddhir. This is again important for sannyasa ashrama. Why? What is tattva samshuddhir? Tattva samshuddhir is purification. Sattva samshuddhir. Tattva means purification. Samshuddhir is, tattva is existence, and samshuddhir is purification. So purification of one's existence through various means that Krishna has advised is sattva samshuddhir. Prabhupada in the purport says, we must focus on impurities like lust. He says, if you can free yourself from lust by avoiding internal lusty thoughts and external triggers, you can control yourself and purify yourself. Third one is Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi. What is this? Cultivation of knowledge. Again, this is important for sannyasa ashrama because they have all the time in the world. They have dedicated themselves to study of scriptures and pray to the Lord. So these 3 are very important for sannyasis. I'm showing Prabhupada as an example. Dhanam. This is meant for Grihastha, right? Dhanam is, we are supposed to look after sannyasas, brahmacharis, because they do not have means to live. So it is our duty as Vaishyas, as Brahmanas, to earn whatever we can and give it as charity. Prabhupada says in the purport that to 50% of one's earnings, remember this and underline this in our minds and memories, 50% of our earnings can be given as charity. That is what the scriptures say. Now, how much of it we can give is in our control. Why is Dhanam so important? Because it helps us come out of this, the clutches of insecurity. What do we do because we are insecure? We are hoarding, we are, building house after house, building bank deposit after bank deposit. He says, please come out of it. Learn to give rather than to store. Tamas. Tamas is self-control. This is more important for Grihasthas. You should try to move away from sense attraction. Indriya Nigraha. Yagnasya. Now this is for Grihasthas. Yajna. What is yajna? Worship. Yag means worship. Yajna means practice of worship. When I offer prayer to the Lord, I am worshipping the Lord. Now, there are two kinds of yajnas. One is what we do as praying to the Lord at home in the temples by doing yajnas, homas, various kinds of pujas. And the second form of worship is karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, Ishvara arpana bhavana. What is that? Prepare my mind that whatever action I can, I do, but I should not expect the results because the result I am not alone responsible for. If you do that, then you will be in a position to surrender. So that's the another form of yajna. Through karma, that is karma yoga. Through karma, we pray to the Lord. Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya is scriptural studies. Now, again, very interesting. It is important for brahmacharis, and of course, it is important for all other ashramas. Why? What is swadhyaya? You can do it in two ways. One is parayana. What do? We chant Gayatri Mantra, we chant Vishnu Sahasranama, we chant Jagannath Ashtakam. You choose whichever is your favorite deity and say his prayers regularly. What happens? It purifies the house. Second part of Swadhyaya is you do deep study of the scriptures. That is very important for brahmacharis because they have said that I will follow the strict vow of celibacy because I want to understand scriptures and go back to the Lord. So this is important for brahmacharis and this is important for grihasthas. Tapa. Whom is it important for? For people like us who are in the age of 50 and above. We are qualified for vanaprastha. What is the vanaprastha? What vanaprastha is adopting an austere living. Do not try to be surrounded by comforts. Give up the comforts one by one because we are now at the stage where we are getting closer and closer to leaving the body. Krishna in the 17th chapter talks about sattvika, rajsika, and tamasic tapas. We'll see that going forward. But tapas is required for us to strengthen ourselves to surrender to the Lord. Then comes arjavam. This is, what is arjavam? All of us have three personalities, Kayika, Vachika, Manasa. We think, we talk, and we act. So Krishna says, you must be aligned in all the three. Do not try to be a politician who says something and does something else. No offense meant. This is just a general comment. Next.
Prabhuji, Arjavam means remain balanced, is it? I missed that point.
Yeah.
Arjavam means remain balanced in Kaya, Vacha, and Manasa.
Correct. That's right. In 6.40, I have a chat. What it says. Okay. Right, Shankar, no problem. Carry on. Now, in 6.40, Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Parthanaiveha Namutra, Vinashastasya Vidyate, Nahi Kalyana Krutkashchit, Durgatim Tatagachati. Krishna has given us an indication in the 6th chapter itself. He says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pruta, a transcendentalist engaged in auspicious activities does not meet with destruction, either in this world or in the spiritual world. One who does good, my friend, is never overcome by evil. So this message is very clear. So don't be tempted by shortcut. The path of goodness is always long because it takes you through the right kind of purification before you achieve your goal. So Krishna has said, it may look hard, but if you achieve it one by one of the 26 qualities, we will be in a position to be protected always, not only in this world, even in the spiritual world. Now, we move to the next one. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Ahimsa Satyam Akrodaha, Yaga Shante Rapaisunam, Daya Bhuteshwa Alolukvam, Mardham Achapalam. What is Krishna saying? The Supreme Personality of God had said, freedom from anger. We all can recognize we are all overcome by bouts of anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination. So these are the next list of qualities that Krishna gives. Let's go one by one. Ahimsa for all ashramas. Now, this is a very important thing because we must have the right understanding of ahimsa after reading Gita. So ahimsa is not just about non-violence. It actually also means do not put others in distress. Now you see this example here. What is Hiranyakashipu doing? He is trying to kill his own son. Prahlada. What does he do? Whatever happens, he is constantly chanting Narayana. So that is the example of ahimsa. Do not retaliate. Do not give it back, because that's not what Krishna wants you to do. So the father, antagonistic, father tries to kill the son, but Prahlada tolerated him. That is ahimsa. Further, Gita is very, very fascinating journey of understanding what Krishna has to say. Tasmat yudhyasva bharata. Krishna has said this himself. What is Krishna advising Arjuna? Please fight. You have to fight because of I want this fight to happen. Can I request you to go on mute, Sunil? Thank you. So now this is interesting. On one side, we are talking about ahimsa as a divine quality. On the other side, we say that, oh, well, Krishna is advising Arjuna to fight. How do I understand this? Now, here comes the deeper meaning. Do not cause distress to others. That is ahimsa. Now, Krishna goes to Duryodhana with an offer of 5 villages and says, let's have peace. But Duryodhana refuses because he is a person who does not listen to all this. He doesn't believe in dharma. So then Krishna says, himsa to uphold dharma is most important. So it's not ahimsa always. Sometimes we have to uphold dharma by himsa, then that is ahimsa. We should understand this. And it's not far away from our day-to-day life. Look at a doctor. Now, if he says, I am ahimsavadi, I will not wield a scalpel, I will not do operation because there is flow of blood, it looks violent, then the patient will die. So, himsa to uphold dharma is also part of ahimsa. So, that is the understanding we must develop. Let's move to Satyam. This is for all ashramas. We have to talk the truth. Do not try to sugarcoat. Do not try to lie. Do not try to hide. And the biggest example of truth is Harishchandra. And there is another way of, now there is a very nice question, very nice learning from the story. All of us can adapt. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, as you are all aware, he's a guru of Vivekananda. He had a great devotee, and his name was Mr. Ghosh. And Mr. Ghosh had a habit of drinking. He came to the Paramahamsa and said, oh dear Guru, I have a problem, I can't give up drinking. Then Paramahamsa said, okay, fine, if you have so much of a problem, do one thing. Whenever you drink, you offer the drink to me and then go, then start. So Mr. Ghosh said, I think this is a good solution. So he started drinking. And whenever he used to offer a drink, he used to offer it to the Guru in his mind. After some time, he started getting worried. Wow, I am drinking, and now because of my offering the drink to Paramahamsa, my Guru's health also will get spoiled. No, I should reduce. And slowly it starts reducing, and then he became a perfect devotee. So Paramahamsa told the truth, saying that offer it to me, and Mr. Ghosh followed it, and he was able to achieve a relief from his problem, which seemed to be very difficult to give up. Krodha, don't be angry. And now this is very, very easy for us to understand. Opposite of Krodha is Akrodha. Now, how do we become Krodha, or how do we gain this mastery on Krodha? This is something which is very difficult to achieve. Krishna says, Tiksha, you have to tolerate. First, learn the art of tolerance. And who better than Buddha, who gives us a living example, which I have shown here. No, he was sitting with his disciples. A stranger walked in, an angry young man. He looks at Buddha and says that you talk rubbish, and spat at him. What did Buddha do? He took a piece of cloth, wiped the spit, and said, "What next?" This guy was surprised. He said, "Are you a man? I am angry at you and spitting at you, and you're not reacting." And then he goes back. The whole night he's not able to sleep. He says, "Oh, I have insulted Buddha." Next day he comes running, falls at his feet and says, "I am very sorry, Buddha. Please pardon me. I should not have done this." Then Buddha again looks at him and says, what next? The learning from this example is, if you don't react, we have the path to control our anger. Tyaga, again, this is applicable for all ashramas. What is Tyaga? The means renunciation. So you can do external renunciation, which is not easy for all of us. We are not all destined to be sannyasis. Sannyasis are able to renounce everything in this world and adopt a very holy lifestyle. But we can have internal renunciation. That is detachment, vairagya. Now you may all be wondering, oh, well, how do we do it? Is it so possible, easy? Then I will give you, I'm not talking about someone else example. Sorry. I'll give you my own example. I am a diabetic and I also have a sweet tooth. I love sweets, but if I have sweets, my health will get affected. So what I have done, I have compulsorily and lovingly told my mind, be away from sweets. That is detachment. And am I successful? To a large extent. Nobody is perfect. 60, 70, 75%, if you're able to achieve, it is fine. What is the reward? My diabetes is under control for the last 9 years. I don't even feel I am diabetic. That is Tyaga. So you can adopt it externally, you can adopt it internally. Shanti for all ashramas, freedom from violent emotional disturbance. We can easily understand what is Shanti. Apaisunam. What is Apaisunam? Do not get after fault finding. Avoid gossiping. Gossiping is always talking about someone behind his back.
Prabhuji, you have gone on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Is also off.
Yes.
Yes.
So try to avoid. Srila Rupa Goswami says, Nindadishunya Hrudayam. Don't have inclination to criticize anyone because everyone is spiritual. Everyone is an Atma. Recognize that. Then Daya Bhuteshu. Daya means compassion. You should be compassionate to all living beings. Lolupvam. Do not yield to temptations. It's now, when you say Dhamma is self-control of all the five senses. Alolupvam is sense control of one sense. Now, for example, you give up smoking, or you give up drinking, or you give up non-vegetarian. That is alolupvam. Mardhavam. Mardhavam means gentleness. Be polite. Do not try to hurt others. Three, again for all ashramas, modesty. Do not act in a way that is undesirable, inappropriate. Achapalam. Now, chapala means restlessness. Now, many a times you see that, this is expressed at the body level. You move your legs purposelessly. You move your hands purposelessly. So, achapalam is freedom from that. Be relaxed, stay focused, stay determined. So, these are the qualities that Krishna describes as divine. We go to the next verse. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Tejakshama Dhruti Saucham, Adruhanatyamanita, Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim, Vijatasya Bharata. He gives a further list. Let's go. I'll not read this. We'll go through this one by one. Tejaha. This is what Kshatriyas. You should protect. You should have vigor. You should have strength. And you must protect the downtrodden. That is Tejaha. Shama. It is the ability to pardon others. Dhruti, very important for Kshatriyas, and I want to tell a nice story to tell you. Dhruti is not so easy to achieve. It takes tremendous amount of doing, tremendous amount of patience. This story is about Bhagirata bringing the river Ganga to the material world. So I'm sure many of you would have heard this story. Let us go through it quickly. So King Sagara was conducting Ashwamedha Yagna. And typical of Indra, he's very insecure. He steals the horse. So Sagara is not an ordinary king. He had 60,000 sons. So he sent the sons behind Indra, get that horse back. So they follow the horse and they find the horse wandering in the Pataloka. Imagine from Bhuloka, he has gone to Pataloka. And the horse was found near the Kapila's ashram. So the 60,000 sons thought Kapil Muni is the person who has done this. So they started insulting him. Kapil Muni is an angry Rishi. He became angry and he said, I curse you and I will burn you to ashes. So they all got reduced to ashes. Now here Sagara is waiting and the son does not come back. So he says, Anshuman, who is my grandson, you please go and follow. Anshuman comes to the same place. He looks at what has happened, huge pile of ash. Then he prays to Kapil Muni. Kapil Muni is happy and he says, well, if you want to save your uncles and take them back to the next loka, you must bring Mother Ganga to this world. And once the river touches these ashes, they will go back to the next world. Anshuman takes the horse back, gives it to his grandfather Sagara, and the yajna is complete. Then Sagara says, I want to hand over this kingdom to you. I want you to bring Ganga to Mathura. But Anshuman is not successful. Then he gives it to his son Dilipa. That is not successful. Then Dilipa says, Dilipa has a son and he is Bhagirath. He says, Bhagirath, I want you to achieve this. So Bhagirath says that, Father, I will not take this responsibility of a king. I will appoint the ministers to look after my kingdom. I will go to the forest and pray to Lord Shiva and bring back Ganga or bring down Ganga. So Bhagirath prays, Shiva is happy, Shiva blesses him with the boon saying that Mother Ganga will come to you. But he says, please understand, it is not so easy. Sorry, Bhagirath prays to Brahma. And Brahma says, I give you a boon. But then he also says, please understand, it is not so easy to bring Ganga down because he is so ferocious that the whole world will get wiped out. So then Bhagirath says, what do I do? He says, you pray to Shiva. Shiva is the person who can control her. So he prays to Shiva. Shiva agrees. And then he says, okay, fine, I will support you. I will not allow her to destroy the world. But Ganga is a smart lady. She says, I don't want to come to this material world, Bhuloka. I am very happy in Swarga. So she says that I will come in such a force that, I will wipe the world out and take Shiva also back with me. But no, what happens? Shiva is smart. She says, you're trying to act smart. I'll imprison you in my jata. And he imprisons her. Imagine Bhagirath, he's done so much of work, but still Ganga is not there. She is imprisoned in Shiva's jata. Then Shiva says, okay, fine. You then Bhagirath says, okay, Shiva, I will conduct another penance. You give me a solution. Then Shiva says, you don't worry. I will let out only a small portion of Ganga and she will be able to fulfill your desire of liberating your uncles. And Mother Ganga comes to the earth, and as she starts flowing, there is a sage Janu who is conducting a yajna. And that yajna gets disturbed. Janu becomes angry and he curses Ganga. I don't want you to flow here. And then Bhagirath again prays to Janu and says, oh sage, please forgive me. I have done so much of tapasya. I have shown so much of dhruti to bring her down. Please support me. Then he is happy. He says, okay, fine. I will release Ganga. And that's how Ganga came to Mother Earth. So this is the story to show you each of these qualities are not easy to achieve, but we should take example and make effort. Saucham is for all Vaishyas, cleanliness. It's not just internal cleanliness. It's not about house cleanliness. It's about our external surrounding cleanliness. And it's also cleanliness of our internal thinking. Adroha. It is again for all ashramas. What is Adroha? It's the ahimsa at the mental level. Shankaracharya used to say that you should not only hit others. He says even raising the hand to say, I will hit you is Adroha. To that extent, we should be compassionate and peaceful. Nati manita. It is important for all ashramas, especially Shudras. This is nothing but Amanit form of 13th chapter. Freedom from pride, freedom from superiority complex. Be humble. Daivim abhijatasya. You can be born with these qualities or you should develop these qualities. 99% of us do not have them in strong, they don't have a strong presence in us. We should work to try and cultivate them. So with this is a quick look of the 26 qualities. We will now start the second portion where Krishna describes the demoniac qualities. Dambo dharpa abhimanascha krodha parushyam evacha agnanam cha vijatasya partha sampadam asuram. Suric or demonic qualities in passion and ignorance. What are the six qualities? Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance. Let's see this in detail. Dumbo, pomp and show. You do not have all the good qualities, but you still want to put up a show. Now, the classic example is the crane. What does crane do? If you look at this figure, it is standing on one leg, its head is bent, beak closed, eyes are looking down. It looks like the crane is in meditation. But actually, what it is doing, it's a cunningness to deceive the fishes. It is waiting for a fish to surface so that he can hunt for it. Another example of Nambo, there was a queen and a king happily living together, ruling. And the king used to find that the queen was highly religious, devoted. She used to visit temples, does puja, etc. But the king was, very busy and he didn't find time for all these things. Then the acharyas say, don't judge by what you see outside. King in his dreams used to many a times chatter or remember Krishna loudly and say, Krishna, 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 oh Krishna, save me. So once one queen heard this, she realized, oh, I have this act of, trying to show that I'm religious, but my husband is more pious and more religious than me because he's dreaming of Krishna even in his dreams. Darpa, arrogance. I don't have to explain this. We all know Duryodhana, Ravana are classic examples of arrogance. Vimana is hungry for respect. Kings in the past used to have bards to sing praise of the Lord. Raja the Raja, Raja Maharaja, Raja Martanda. So that used to be the level of Vimana they used to have in them. So these first three qualities are at the ego level. Then comes Krodha, anger. We don't have to talk about anger because we all know what happens when we are angry. The whole body is, telltale signs of anger is your eyes are red, you start shouting, you are swearing, etc., etc. So we should try to control Krodha. Parushyam. It is a derivative of Krodha, rudeness, impoliteness. Where are these two coming from? These three are coming from the mind. Gnanam, ignorance. So ignorance is coming at the level of intellect. So now here we can take, these are qualities which we all can understand. And there are wonderful examples in Srimad Bhagavatam to really relate to each of this and say that, oh, well, I should not do this. I should not have pride. What happens if I have pride? So, short stories. The poor Kumaras, very famous pious devotees of Vishnu, once wanted to see him in Vishnu Loka. So they go there. 6 gates are there, 7 gates are there. They cross the 6th gate, and the 7th gate, Jaya and Vijaya, they stop them, asking, who are you? Do you have an appointment to see the Lord? And then they say, well, this is Vaikuntha. I don't have anyone's permission. I'm going to see my Lord. They get angry, even though they are so pious, they get angry and they curse the Jaya Vijaya. They are Dwarpalakas of Krishna himself. Why are they cursed? Why did they get into this position? Because of pride. They have been the Dwarpalakas for millions of years. They had never done this stopping or the act of stopping someone, and they did it with poor Kumaras, and they had to pay the price. So never try to be proud. And what was the reason for pride? Saying that we are the Dwarpalakas of Krishna. Then the Kumaras gave them an example. They said, what would you like? Either you take 6th birth as people with divine qualities, or you take a shortcut, 3 births of demons. What do you want? Imagine Jaya and Vijaya, they said, I want to come back to Krishna. I don't want to spend too much time away. So please give me 3 demons' life. I am happy. So many of us may be aware, may not be aware. Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were the first birth of Jaya and Vijaya in this material world as demons. Second birth is Ravana and Kumbhakarna. And third birth is Shishupala and Dantavasura. So pride leads to repentance. That's what is the example from what I have shared. Now, since there is the constraint of time, we will only look at arrogance. So Darpa, Shishupala is a great example. So Shishupala, how many of us are aware, were born with 4 hands and 3 eyes. And his parents were shocked. Can't see the screen, is it? You can't see the screen, is it?
Yeah, nobody can see. Nana message ಕಳಿಸ್ದೆ. It was 20 minutes back.
Really?
Message ಕಳಿಸ್ದೆ ನೋಡು.
One second, let me come back then. What I
Sam,
will
you
do?
can see us,
Yeah, I can see you.
but we were waving hands, myself and Chaitanya, but you were not able to pick up.
Because I had taken full screen and I was not able to see. Now, one second, what I'll do, I'll share screen again.
Yes.
Now you're getting it?
Yes.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry for that. Yeah, I didn't see the chat.
That's it.
Okay. Now, where were we? We were on the example of Shishupala. So he was born with
3
2
eyes.
arms and 3 eyes. So his parents were shocked. And then at that time, there was a Akashvani, which said, don't worry, he's a very able person. But yes, he was born with this because of a particular reason. And there are his 4 hands and 3 eyes, with the 2 hands and the extra eye will fall off as soon as he sits on the lap of a person who is going to kill him. Now his parents were shocked. But then they had to follow the Akashvani, so they started calling all the kings in the world and said that you please put my child on your lap and let me see who is going to affect him. And then nothing happens. Only when Krishna puts Shishupala on his lap, he finds that the 2 arms and the eye fall off. So the parents know that Shishupala is going to be killed by Krishna. His mother, she prays to Krishna and says, oh, please save my son. Krishna says, don't worry, I will not kill him up to 100 offenses. The moment he crosses 100, I will kill him. Now, who is Shishupala? Shishupala is Hiranyakashipu. Now, he is an example of arrogance. So, he did everything to stop Krishna. He was once in a Anasuya Yajna being performed by Dharmaraya. So, he insults Krishna ceaselessly, endlessly. And what Krishna does, he's counting. As soon as he crosses the 100th offense, Krishna kills him. So this shows that ultimately, however powerful you are, whatever you are, if you do not have the right qualities, you are going to pay with your life. We go further. Daivi sampad-vibhāga nibandhaya surimataha masucha sampadam daivim abhijhato si pandava. Destiny of divine and demoniac. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Now you see what happens after listening to all the demonic qualities. Krishna is continuing this, and suddenly Arjuna gets a doubt. Daivi sampad-vibhāga. I can understand. You have described the Daivi qualities, and what does the Daivi qualities lead to? Lead to vimokshaya, liberation. Nibandhaya suri bhavati, now nitya bandhaya. I can understand that in the material world, you are bound, you are going to stay in the material world. Ma sucha sampada daivim. Now, the Arjuna's doubt is, am I a Daiva or Devata, or am I born with Asura qualities? And he says, why am I having this doubt? Because I am also on the battlefield. I am also shooting arrows. I am also killing people. I am also angry. I am filled with cruelty. So then Krishna says, Arjuna, don't worry. Ma suchaha, don't worry. Daivim sampadam abhijato. You are born with spiritual inclination. Sorry. You have the right value system. You understand what is dharma. You question me. You ask me, how can I kill Bhishma? How can I kill Drona? So I am very clearly assuring you that You have the right qualities, so you don't have to worry. Then Arjuna was satisfied. He has said in this verse 6.45, Prayatnad yatatmanastu yogi samshuddha kilbisa aneka janma samsiddha sato yati param gatim. What is Krishna saying? Oh Arjuna, whatever is the Daivi qualities in you, they have not come to you just like that. Let's read the translation. And when the yogi engages himself with sincere endeavor in making further progress, being washed of all contaminations, then ultimately achieving perfection after many, many births of practice, he attains the supreme goal. So, Arjuna, you are born with this inclination because it is coming to you from many, many births, and you have been making constant endeavor. This is how Krishna assures Arjuna that you are on the right path. Going further, Dvau bhūta sargo lokesmin Daivāsura evacha Daivo vistarasa prokta asuram partame shrunu. There are two kinds of beings, Daiva and demoniac. Let's look at the translation. O son of Partha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is divine and the other is demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac. Very, very easy verses from here onwards. Not much to discuss. Dvau means two. Bhuta sargau loke. In this creation, the entire humanity can be divided into two kinds of people. Daivi, who are having people with divine qualities, and Asura, people with demoniac qualities. Daiva vistaraso prokta. Let me put this. What is the result of having divine qualities? You will get liberation. Aturam parthameshanu. Now, what happens? I have already described to you what happens if you are born with divine qualities. Aturam parthameshanu. Now I will describe to you what happens if you have demoniac nature. Here, he's also saying that I have already described to you, I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. But in this verse, there is no explanation, but we must connect back and go back and say that Krishna has been talking about these qualities continuously. In the second chapter, he spent so many verses to describe the prajna. They are with divine qualities. In fourth chapter, he talked about Niskama Karma Yoga. They are divine qualities. In 12th chapter, he said that you must adopt the godly qualities which come from me. That is divine qualities. In 13th chapter, he described 20 values and virtues. They are divine qualities. And in the 14th chapter, he says, what is the character of those in goodness and how you can transcend the modes. So that is why Krishna is saying that I have already described to you what are the divine qualities. Now with that, we have completed the first section. We go to the second section and we will only cover 5 verses here. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidur asuraha na saucham na pichacharo na satyam te suvidyate. Don't know what is to be done and not to be done. Okay. Translation. They do not know. So there are two parts to this. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidur asura. They do not know what is to be done, pravrittim, and not to be done, nivrittim. They don't have cleanliness, saucham, good behavior, achara, or truthfulness. So now Krishna is describing the qualities one by one. Now, as we understand this, we should also try to realize why is Krishna saying this? What makes us people in this material world relate more to the demoniac qualities than Daivi qualities? Basically because there are 4 purusharthas, 4 goals of a human life. What are those? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Now, Artha and Kama are quite easy to understand. Artha is making money and Kama is enjoying. All of us can relate to us. But problem is Dharma, I don't understand. What is the Dharma? Why? I have to read. I have to make an attempt. And Moksha, oh, something which it can happen if you are lucky. I don't want to really understand what is Moksha. So what is difficult for us to understand through our normal senses, we don't make an attempt to understand. We leave it, oh, jo hoga dekha jayega. Krishna is now trying to tell us, don't do this. Try to understand what you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to know. Pravrittim cha. First is follow what the Dharma says. And where is Dharma defined? Dharma is defined in scriptures. Which scriptures? Gita. Why? It is the easiest of all the scriptures to understand. Nivrittim cha. Do not do any adharmic activities. Very simple. So the scriptures like Gita gives us the do's and don'ts. Don't do this, only do this what is important for spiritual growth. Janana vidur asura. But these demoniac people do not know and do not care. Na saucham na pichacharo. They have neither cleanliness, nor they have inclination, nor they have the willingness to study scripture, understand what is dharma, what is adharma. It's very difficult. Oh, let me not do all that. So what I will do? Na satyam teso vidyate. I do not believe in all these values. I only believe in artha and kama. I can understand them, so I will implement them. So we should try to step out of this ignorance. Going next. Asatyam apratistamte jagad ahur anishwaram. Very important word. Plus aparaspara sambhutam kim anyat kamahetukam. What is their philosophy? They say that this world is unreal, but we all can see that this is a real world. With no foundation, no God in control. Anishwaram. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. Just look at how simple their philosophy is. Satyam apratistamte. Why this is called Asatyam by Krishna? Because Satyam is only talked about in Veda. So Veda Pramana means Satya. Asatyam means you do not believe in Veda. Shankaracharya says Vedas are like Matru, Pitru, Saharebhyaha, Vihiteshane. Vedas, if you take shelter of them, they are superior to 1,000 mothers and fathers because it is only interested in our well-being. So if you say, I don't want to follow Satyam, you adopt Satyam, Adharma, Pratistante. You do not believe in Dharma and you do not believe that Dharma sustains the universe, so I will follow Adharma. Then they say, Paraspara Sambhutam. They say this world is unreal. And the only cause for this world is Jagad Ahur Anishwaram. They do not believe in God also. They say there is no Ishvara. There is no Veda, there is no Dharma. There are only two Purusharthas. There are only two goals of life, money and enjoyment. And continue that till death. Paraspara Sambhutam. What it means? It means that this world, this humanity is only caused by male and female union. And what is it brought about? Kim Anyat. What else? Kama Haitukam. By sex desires, by passion. That's the only reason for this world to be formed. Let's move to the next verse. Asatyam. This is a repeat. Etam drustim avastavya nastatmano alpabuddhaya. I have underlined this. Prabhavanti ugra karmanaha kayaya jagato hitaha. Illusion and no intelligence. That is alpabuddhaya. All these verses going forward will show you how poor intelligence they have. Following such conclusions, the demoniacs, they are lost to themselves. Nastatmano. And they have no intelligence. Alpabuddhaya. They engage in unbeneficial, horrible works. Ugra karmana, meant to destroy the world. Again, a very easy verse to understand. Etam. Etam means this vision. Etam drustem, this vision, this understanding, this view. What is that view? What is the philosophy? Kim anyat kama hetukam. There is no God, nishwaram. There is no purpose other than lust. Tabya. They accept this and they hold on to this. Nastatmano. What happens? The soul's inclination towards spirituality is lost. Why? Because you are only after artha and kama. And why is this happening? Alpabuddhayaha. Because you have less intelligence. And your intelligence is only limited to material intelligence. You don't want to look at anything above material life. We feel there is nothing to do in this life. They are earthbound and they are deathbound. Prabhavanti. They will take to what they will do, having this philosophy, Ugra Karmana. What is Ugra Karmana? You can easily understand. You know what is happening with terrorism, what is happening with hijacking, killing unarmed, innocent people. That's what these people indulge in. It is very easy to relate to what's happening around us. Jayaya Jagata Ahitaha. Ahitaha. They become the cause of destruction. That is Jayaya. Now, it is not again very difficult to understand. Prabhupada in the purport says, please look around. We have created and developed so many nuclear weapons that we can kill the entire population of this world 10 times over. And we are still adding more and more weapons to the armory. Jagato ahitaha. Ahita means unbeneficial. Which nuclear weapon is meant to benefit us? Every weapon is a weapon of destruction. So, Krishna is saying, if you are demoniac, you are only devoted to craving and anger. You want to see that, I have fully equipped to kill the others. Is that intelligence? That's why Krishna says, Alpabuddhaya. Next one. Raman ashritya duspuram dambamana madanvitaha mohat vasadrahan pravartante asuchivrataha. What are the demonic tendencies and conduct? He continues. Taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac, thus illusioned, are always prone to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. Once you are on the wrong path, then you are on a slippery slope. That's what Krishna is trying to describe here. He says, Kamam ashritya dushpuram. You are behind desires which are difficult to fulfill. And it's not very difficult to understand what's happening with the Hamas terrorists, with what happened with Hitler, what happened with Ravana. They had impossible desires. Dushpuram. Can you satisfy this desire? No way. Krishna is saying that it is like pouring ghee into the fire. You can never put off the fire by pouring ghee. You cannot rule this world. You cannot live in this world by following such demoniac qualities. Instead of taking ashraya of Krishna, you are taking ashraya of Kama. You say Kama ashritya. Ashritya is taking shelter. Dhamba. Right. Now everything is under our control. Madanvitaha. It is arrogance, the negative emotions. What has happened with such people? They are wild, vicious, workaholics, selfish. Mohat. Why? Because of illusion, ignorance, delusion, aviveka, filled with tamas. They don't understand that, you are a finite being, and if you take shelter of finite things, you will never get infinite results. You cannot leave this world. Pravartante suchi avartan ritva. He accepts Sadghan, false doctrine that there is no God, everything is only because of lust, etc. Who has given you this knowledge? Where is it written? Show me. But they don't have an answer. Pravartante, they engage in doing. Suchi vrataha. What is asuchi vrataha? Suchi vrataha is praying to the Lord, following the scriptures. Suchi vrataha is they are doing all the wrong things. You are worshipping at inauspicious time. The Vedas say get up in the morning. They will say we will get up at midnight. They will do pujas to the Rakshasas, to ghosts during thunderstorm. On inauspicious days such as Amavasya, New Moon Day, eclipse. And whom are they worshipping? They go to crematorium, they go to cemeteries because they are worshipping demons, ghosts, and spirits. It is Suchivrataha. If you are not able to understand what is divine and who can help you, then you follow this wrong path. Going further. Chintam aparimeyam cha pralayantam upashritaha kama apabhoga parama etad iti nischitaha. What is the attitude? They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. So what happens? Chinta. This is the consequence. Why? Kamopabhoga parama. Attitude. Attitude is I will earn more. I will enjoy more. Let's go to the last verse. Asha pasha satay bhattaha kama krodha parayanaha ihanti kama bhogartam anyena atta sanchayan. So what is the engagement? Thus, until end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable, bound by a network of hundreds and thousands of desires, and absorbed in lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. Pasha, pasha. Asha means desire. Pasha means string, shackle. You are bound by your own desires. How many desires? Satayar baddha. Thousands of desires. You are not happy with fulfilling one. I get one, I want 10 more. The more we enjoy, thicker and the tighter the rope of attachment becomes. They are not able to understand it. kama krodha parayanaha. They have sold themselves out to lust and anger. Instead of Narayana Parayana, they are becoming into Kama Krodha Parayana, lust and anger. What does unfilled Kama leads to? Krodha. If I'm not able to get what I want, I will attack. You can see this around us, what's happening. Acid attacks. Why does it happen? Because the jilted lover says, if I cannot get this girl, or this girl says, I cannot get this boy, vice versa, I will throw acid and destroy him. Now, the question to ask, what right do you have to destroy others' life? But there is no answer. A fulfilled Kama leads to Lobha, greed. I want more. Ihante. What do they do to fulfill this desire of lust and desire? They are busy at work. Ihante. They work overtime, 16 hours a day. Busy workaholics. Kama bhogartham. I will work hard, I will earn more, and I will enjoy more. Anyenartha sanchayan. Sanchayan is collect mass. More I have, more I want. Anya is immorality, injustice, illegality. So Krishna is saying, Anyenartha sanchayan. They collect money by illegal means. So by indulgence, the rope of bondage becomes thicker and thicker. That is the last verse of this section. Now I show you this because after reading this chapter, we should have realization. The realization is Krishna is blessed with 4 arms. Have we ever wondered why? One realization is his 2 hands where he has Shanka, conch, and he has lotus, Kamal. That is to bless his devotees. In the other 2 hands, he has the mace and he has Sudarshan Chakra. Why? To kill demons. So Krishna is prepared for both and he is equal. 2 hands for devilish, 2 hands for Daiva. Quick summary. We have studied Divine and Demoniac, opinion outlook of demons. We covered 5 verses. Now, if this video works, we can have a quick summary. Yeah, let's see. This is from YouTube. I'm not sure.
Prabhuji, does the video have? It's not audible.
Sound ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಶ್ಯಾಮ.
ಅಲ್ವಾ? Oh. 1 ನಿಮಿಷ. What problem? Optimize for video clip.
Audio missing.
1 second. Now stereo. Let us see.
Vedas, austerity,
Yes,
Can you hear?
sir.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
simplicity,
audible.
Okay, 1 second. Let me start from the beginning.
non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance, these qualities belong to those of demoniac nature, O son of Pritha. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. O son of Pritha, in this world there are 2 kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness nor proper behavior nor truth is found in them. They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in the unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac thus illusioned are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end.
So we have covered till here. We will complete this video in the next class. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Oh.
Chapter 16, The Divine and Demoniac Natures. The Supreme Personality.
Stop it also. Anyway, there we are. Thank you very much. And now the floor is open for all of you. You have any doubt, any questions, either from this or any general questions, please feel free. Thank you very much.
Prabhuji, ಇನ್ನ ಎರಡು ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಿ ನೀವು 11 and 12. That video showed up to 10.
You want to go further?
No, it's okay. We can do it in the recap next time.
No issue. No issues.
Also,
Yes.
Just one observation, Prabhuji. In your slide of shloka number 5,
Yes.
it said son of Partha. It should be son of Pritha, right?
Right. My mistake.
That is the only one.
Okay. Let me go to 5, you said, no? No. Somehow this fellow gets disturbed when I move back. No. I said that, or it is there in the slide?
It is there in the slide as well as you said.
I said that also. That okay? Then I'll correct it. Yeah.
This one.
Okay.
Prabhuji.
So
instead of Partha, I think it should be Pritha.
Not in 5 then.
Meaning,
This is Pandava here.
No. Let me just.
Maybe 6.
16.6 next.
6.
Partha.
Asuram Partha Meshunu, that one.
Right.
Yeah.
So I said that Pritha, is it?
No. If you had, he is the son of Pritha.
Right.
This meaning that you have written, the translation, it should
Right.
be, O son of Pritha.
You are right. Perfectly right. Thank you very much. I'll correct it right away. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Chaitanya. Very good. Any other observations, thoughts, doubts? And just for all the cricket lovers amongst us, Kohli has completed a century. So I was getting that flash on my mobile, So it's a good evening to enjoy. And just to
pretty simple to understand, Prabhuji.
Sorry, say that again.
This chapter is pretty simple to
Very
understand
easy.
because it covers demoniac qualities.
Exactly. In fact, I wanted to give that example, but I didn't give. These demonic qualities like virus attack. So the computer system works so well, and suddenly we have a virus which spoils the game. And then we need an antivirus software. And what is that antivirus software? Bhakti. So if we can cultivate this 26 divine qualities, we can go closer to Krishna, and that becomes the best antivirus to protect us from the attack of these viruses.
So
and as you said, yes, this is a
Krishna has
far,
told
far
us
simpler chapter.
so many times what divine qualities comprise of in chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 6, I think. And also how to reach him in Bhakti
Yes.
Yoga and so on. And in one chapter, he covers demonic qualities.
Yeah.
So it takes us so long to understand divine Daiva, Daiva Guna,
Very true.
if I am using the right word. And it in a short, everything is comprised in one single chapter. So
Very
unfortunate
true.
for us
Yes.
that he has to explain it again and again and again what divine qualities are.
And even then we find it difficult.
Instantly we understand what demonic qualities are.
Yes, because they're all within us, Last, anger. Who will not understand anger?
True.
Sunil? चुटकी में गुस्सा हो जाते हैं.
Actually, all these divine things are easy to pick up. Na?
Easy to pick up, but difficult to follow. Imagine tomorrow we decide that we'll not get angry. I don't think we will be there even for a day with that woe.
No, but
Something
people will think there is
happens.
something wrong in it.
Exactly. So we must practice it. It is not so easy. First is we are aware that at least not being
Awareness.
angry is dear to Krishna.
Yes.
So then we can start, okay, how do I reduce my anger, control
Yes,
my
whatever
anger?
minute, yes. So this chapter will serve to tell us what is dear to Krishna, and also that we are aware what demonic qualities are. ये सब हम सब में है. All this is available in plenty in all of us.
Yes.
So as long as we are aware of what should not be done, I think that awareness itself will take us just one minute step ahead.
Yes.
In
That
our
is knowledge.
spiritual
Now, what did Harishchandra do? He's just picked up one, That's what Acharya says, truthfulness. What did Gandhi do? He picked up ahimsa. And we must also say that, okay, if I'm able to pick up one and do it, and all the other 25 will automatically follow. Because goodness attracts goodness. Badness attracts badness. So that is the path. So first is we are all aware. At least, maybe 25 years back when we were all young, if we had learned Gita, maybe we would have been slightly more refined individuals.
Yes.
We started late. So now we have to start course correcting.
Yes. Never too late, Prabhuji.
Oh, it is never too late
Never
in
too
life.
late.
Krishna says, there is a story, Khatwang Maharaj. He is one of those devotees of the Lord who was so good. He goes to help Devatas in a war. And for a bitter battle with Asuras, he wins the war. Then he asks the Devatas, can you tell me, Devatas are very happy and they say, you take a boon. He says, can you please tell me how much of life I have left? Because, I have been fighting this war for so long, now I don't know. Then can you, the Devatas say, you have only 1 hour of life left. Then he says, oh my God, what do I do? They say, see, I can't do anything because it's only Krishna who can, he is Kala. None of us can do anything. He says, don't worry, I have 1 hour. 1 hour is enough for me. I will completely surrender myself to the Lord. Comes back, gives up his kingdom, and in that 1 hour, he prays to the Lord so sincerely that he is liberated. So there are such examples also. It's never late. Even while dying, if you decide that I will remember Krishna and die, in spite of all the pain in the body, you will go back. But
yes, and
we
this is
first is
mentioned
want.
in Bhagavatam.
That is important. Choice is, shall I do that or not? The moment you say, I want to do it, maybe it is a question of time. धीरे धीरे कुछ तो हो जाएगा.
जी जी. और एक observation था प्रभु जी, आप जब when you were speaking of Satya, I thought you would mention this story. I've read it somewhere. I don't know how far. It seems Dharmaraja was so just and so truthful that in the war his chariot was it used to float above the ground. It was not on the ground. His chariot would float above the ground. And when Ashwathama, the elephant, was killed, and he announced Ashwathama Hata Kunjaraha, because of the virtue of his truthfulness, it would float on the ground, above the ground. And just for this one lie, his chariot came down.
Wonderful, wonderful. I was not aware of this story. No. In fact, if you see this whole 12 verses, I covered more of them by telling stories than
Yes.
actually reading the verses,
Yes,
because
yes,
verses
yes.
are very easy to read.
Yes.
What happens is we can relate better to each
Yes,
quality when
with
we listen to a story.
With an example, yes, yes.
Now, Shishupala, arrogance, we'll always remember. Hiranyakashipu as a father, he was a demon. Prahlad as a son was always filled with love for the Lord. So, father, son, same family, difference in behavior.
Shishupala was the son of Krishna's aunt.
Mother's sister.
Shishupala's
Yes.
mother was
Correct.
Vasudeva's sister, apparently.
Correct. You're right.
Just small observations, Prabhuji.
You're right. They ruled. He was called the king of Chedi. So they
Yes,
got
Chedi.
this child, Shishupala. So, Rekha, any other question? Sunil?
Just absorbing it.
Sorry? Okay, you're absorbing it. Wonderful. Reflection is the best learning that you can ever get in life. If there are no questions, thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of the Sunday. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.